What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is HUD Wednesday nights. Is it Super Bowl or bust for the Philadelphia Eagles? Tis the season. Let's go.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Welcome in, everybody. This is HUD Wednesday nights, only on HUD Radio. Every Wednesday, we're brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Go check out their new home and mention HUD Radio and get 10% off your order. As always, every Wednesday, it's Mike Mataraki, Noah Eaton, Luke Brown, Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. No heel crumb tonight. No Greg. Greg's on a flight. But we're here, baby, and it's the season. Phillies, Braves, we'll talk about that. Big win for the Phils tonight. Go back up 7 games. So, good stuff. Good win. Much-needed win, and you go get another one tomorrow. But that's not what we're getting into tonight. Super Bowl predictions. Eagles schedule breakdown, which still doesn't even matter. You know, we'll give you a win total. Maybe we'll break the schedule down. I don't know. We'll see how we feel. But that's part of the conversation. Main topic. Eagles Super Bowl or bust? Is it? Poll question. The Philadelphia Eagles season will be a disappointment if they fail to reach the Super Bowl. Agree? Disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Like I say all the time. Most importantly, join the conversation. I think like a couple weeks ago, I was like, disagree. Like, NFC conference title game. You just get there. I think I was there a couple weeks ago. Now we're talking September 6th kickoff, Friday night lights. We're talking Friday night lights. I'm jazzed up now. So yes, it is. It is. We're here. We're loaded, right? We're healthy. If we're healthy, how's it not? Like, NFC's got good teams. Don't get me wrong. And we know how the NFL is in the parity. And, teams there's going to be a team that comes out of nowhere. Chicago Bears, maybe. But, you're going to see teams come out of nowhere, a few. And teams, not be as good as you think they are. Hopefully, we're not that team. But it is. Look at the money we spent. Look at the talent we have on this roster. Look at our secondary, right? We talked about that. And just look at the whole entire roster. We don't got to get in position by position. We got a franchise quarterback. He's getting paid like one. We got a franchise running back. We got 2 franchise wide receivers. We still have a hell of an offensive line. And it's all on Lane Johnson. If Lane Johnson's healthy, we're going to win a ton of football games. I believe we'll be healthy enough. I believe it. But, how's it not, though, guys? Like, how's it not? Right? We were in one 2 years ago. We lost that game. We came back last year, and we failed miserably down the stretch, an epic collapse. Okay, nobody got fired up top, like Nick. No big, it was all coordinators gone, rightfully so. I get it. And you bring in 2 big names. You bring in 2 huge names per se, especially Vic. And Kellen Moore is really a respected name too. So I would say he's big too. He's been interviewed for a ton of head coaching jobs. But you bring in those types of names, how's it not? Because they're telling you it is. Howie's bringing in those types of names. He's saying, listen, we're trying to win now. Now, yeah, we're going to try to win in 3 years from now, too. But we're trying to win right now. We have a chance to go win a Super Bowl. We have a chance to go win 2 of them. We're young, and we're here for a minute. So how's it not? It's now or never. So I agree to the poll. That's it. Simple. I don't even know if I made it. I don't know if I nailed a point there. But the point is, under what we've done over the first off, 2 decades. 2 decades in this city, that's how we talk. That's how we talk for 2 decades now. I've been saying it for years. Talk and walk like it. Talk and walk like it, and you might act like it. And here we are, 20-something years later, and we're having the conversation again. And look how loaded we are. Like, name a better offense that's come through this city. Name one. And there's some good ones. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. There's probably some that have better quarterbacks. If you think, I would take Donovan over Jalen, but I don't want to do that tonight, right? But overall, this I don't want to do that. This offense is better than any of them. on paper, we haven't seen it with Saquon. But come on, if he's healthy, oh my God. So I agree with the poll. Super Bowl bust. Just a double down.
I'm with you. I'll agree too. I also think if you look across the NFC, I think two things are true. One, as you said, just because it's Super Bowl or bust doesn't mean there's things to look forward to past this year. I think that's still very true. This isn't a 1-year window. The only two things that are really under fire this year, which are two major points of the season, especially on a roster, head coach and quarterback. So those are where the fingers would be pointed if they don't get there. And that doesn't mean that they won't be able to get there in the next 4 years if it doesn't happen this year. But do yourself a favor real quick and look at the NFC, right? I get it. San Francisco is kind of running back the same team. We'll kind of see what happens with Ayuk. But at the same time, everyone talks about, saw it firsthand last year. It's really hard to get back there, right? So that's a struggle for them. You look at Detroit. I get it. Everyone's kind of crowning them and their improvement because they were a horrible organization for the last pretty much forever. So it's kind of easy to hop on that train. I don't know about you. I think the coach is a little bit of a nutbag and doesn't really do the right decisions in the case of the game. Changed the culture there. Deserves a ton of credit for that. There's no doubt about it. But when it comes down to an NFC title game, we can't be going for it on 4th and medium, take advantage of those opportunities, get points. He hasn't done that time in, time out. Dallas game with the 2-point conversion stuff. I mean, plenty of examples of him just not knowing what to do in those moments. Dallas has a ton of question marks, a lot of noise around things off the field. Are they really going to show up and win? There are questions all across the conference. So if you're a fan of a team, especially in our case, yes, we feel we do have the best offense. There's definitely questions defensively, and the coaches bring up questions, but they are in it the entire conference. It has to be Super Bowl or bust. Otherwise, you don't make those moves at all.
Agreed. And Swoop, you have the conversation because what other conversation you're going to have? Not everybody might not agree. That's it, right? That's it. Everybody might not agree.
Noah?
Look, I think it's Super Bowl or bust. I absolutely agree to the poll. Look, this is the bottom line. If Jalen can take care of the football and let the talent around him help him, there's no doubt in my mind that we should be the odds-on favorite to be in New Orleans come February. Injuries aside and all that, let's face it, every team in the NFL is one injury away from having their season being ruined, right? So what I really love is this secondary. I think they're much improved. And I think Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, I think they're going to help this football team tremendously. My only slight concern with DeJean is his health. I remember his last year at Iowa, and kind of ended with a broken leg there, lost time there. And, of course, he has a little bit of a hammy issue now. But, once he gets to 100% health, and I haven't heard any latest reports, but I'm hoping week 1 he can come out of the chute and be fully healthy. And as long as he stays healthy, I think he's going to have a great career. And overall, I think this defense is improved. I think it's going to take some adjustments, with a lot of new pieces in place. But overall, offensively, as long as we don't turn the ball over, I have no concerns whatsoever.
He's going to play on Saturday. I saw Coop's going to play on Saturday in the last preseason game, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's definitely good to hear.
Yeah.
So overall, I think we're the odds-on favorite to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Rob. You just sent me a quote 2 nights ago that was posted to. Are you out of your mind? You just sent me a post about Jalix Hunt, however you say his name. I don't even know how you say his name. Okay,
yep,
I'm confused.
You
but I
got
feel
it.
like I nailed it. Okay,
yep.
that he would be the impactful guy on the defense to get over 9.5 sacks to make Corey Simon's rookie record. Are we? And you're telling me you guys think the defense is going to make plays? You believe the guy that nobody believes is going to make plays. It's going to make those plays, and then you're going to then circle back You're gonna swing back in. Hey, let me circle back in tonight and tell you we gotta see if the defense actually makes plays. Are we okay? That's all. Are we okay? Like, just, come on, and stop letting the damn quarterback off the hook, right? And the coach and the GM and everything else. Are we letting guys alone? Oh, we gotta see the defense make plays. The defense has a lot of talent on this defense. Okay, enough. There's enough. It's on this offense now.
All right. Well, I'm going to disagree. And the reason that I disagree is, in my mind, every freaking team in the NFL, with the exception of maybe a handful, should be Super Bowl or bust every year. So in my mind, Super Bowl or bust, or, is it a disappointment? They are not necessarily one and the same. Do I want the Birds to go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl? Is it Super Bowl or bust? Yeah, absolutely. But I look at this in terms of big picture. Jalen signed long-term. Saquon, 3 years. AJ signed long-term. Devontae signed long-term. I mean, yeah, the offensive line has a couple guys that are getting a little long in the tooth, but the Eagles know how to build depth on their lines. You look at the defensive line. A lot of youth there, and they know how to build the line. They're retooling the linebackers secondary. Mitchell, DeGee, CJ, GJ signed, free agent. I mean, the pieces are there to do this for 3 or 4 years. I will give them this year, for the sole fact that they have 2 new coordinators. I'm kind of in that same boat that you were talking about, Tommy, where, do they have to finish better than they did last year? Yeah, absolutely. They got to go to at least, the divisional round or the conference finals. If they don't make the Super Bowl, am I going to be disappointed? Sure, I'm going to be disappointed. But is the season as a whole a disappointment? No, not at all. If they come out and they just absolutely shit the bed, then yeah, it's big disappointment. But I give them a year. I give them a year with the 2 new coordinators. You ask me this same question 12 months from now, the answer might change entirely.
Yeah. Because it's not. There's nothing wrong with that statement at all, and that thought process. Because I would say then I need to get to a conference title game at minimum. Right. And then I would even maybe say, and circle back after the year, I can maybe have a different feel if it was disappointing or not. Right. It's hard to have disappointment at the beginning of the year, but we don't know how it plays out. Like, what happens if we get off to a 1-4 start and then we catch fire and we're rattling games and we're running everybody? You know what I mean? Like, and it all changes. Or we get off to a really bad start in our first 8 games. Right. And then that second half, per se, really, you get 9 after that. But that 9 after that, you go like 8-1.
Yeah, or you start 4-4 and you finish 7-2.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, I hear you.
There's ways for it to be like, well, I mean, they rattled off all that and they went to a conference title game and they fell short. All right, I got a lot of faith in next year. So there's a lot of ways to look at when you're projecting that, right? Just on the roster alone, you just say, well, I better be close to being in that. So a conference title game will get you there. But I just think with the chemistry of the offensive weapons already, and in an offensive league, I do this to Cass every night before bed, looking at you, right? I mean, and I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you 3 guys. I'm looking at the chemistry between those 3 guys on offense, right? That in an offensive league, you all 3 are getting paid a lot of money. Go perform like it, which I expect them to do. And if they do, I think they are in a Super Bowl. And then Saquon just a nice dessert or appetizer to that.
I don't think there's a wrong answer to this question if you have reason behind it. The people that just want to flap their wings and scream "Go Birds" with absolutely no rationale or rhyme or reason behind what they want out of this team, there are problems.
Yeah, Staley says, I'm expecting a slow start with the new coordinators, but they will absolutely finish strong. Yeah, maybe, right? Like that's what I said with the chemistry, the offensive weapons. it's just learning a new playbook and new plays, right? So, that I'm not as worried about that. And obviously, if you care anything about practice, Luke, right? That Jalen set the practice record for.
Of course.
I'm sure ESP at WIP was all over that like flies on shit.
Oh, he's the one who said it. What's up, Greg?
It even got to the point
I think on Brian's comment, though, there is also a school of thought, though, that if Kellen Moore has all these new toys, he could be dialing up things that defensive coordinators haven't seen out of him before. And they could wind up winning a couple games early by just putting a ton of points up on the board. And as defensive coordinators start to get some film on him and see what he's doing, maybe it starts to catch up with him later in the year. I don't know. I mean, it's really going to be interesting.
No, it is. Cotton Ball says, "What's up, boys? It's been a minute. I miss you guys. I disagree with the poll. Getting the Super Bowl is hard as hell. Plus, injuries is a part of the game. Nobody can predict that." Yeah, no, what's up, brother? Miss you too. Good to have you back. And I'll say to that, like, when you do that kind of stuff, you project it on being healthy, right? I'm not going to project on injuries, right? You can't. So you just say everything on the surface, it'd be a disappointment. Even if every other team's healthy, it'd be a disappointment. That's how I feel about this roster, right? But again, it's football. it is football. So, again, it depends how they start. And these coordinators are going to be interesting, like we were just talking about. And I think Vic has the little bit of a tougher task just because those guys don't have as much chemistry as the guys on the offense do already. So maybe there's a little bit more of a learning curve there. But, I mean, they got veterans. They got enough veterans surrounding these young players, which I think is the perfect mix and the perfect ingredients. And Howie has really done a good job of that over the years. He really has. So, I'm excited. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm excited. I don't even know where I'm finding losses. Right? I mean, that's where we're at. Like, I don't even know where they are. You guys know where any are? I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, I think the worst case scenario, if you want to bring it this way, I think they go 11-6. I think anything less than that is completely unacceptable. And the over is 10.5. So that would put them over. If you look at the schedule, you could see them losing week 1 Green Bay. That could definitely happen. Then you go on those back-to-back road games in the NFC South, could easily see them drop one of them. Those are not easy games. You could see them losing at Cincinnati, at Dallas, one of those 2 games at LA, at Baltimore on the road. You can't lose both of them. And then that kind of gives you room for one more miscellaneous loss. Maybe that's at Washington or something like that. So that puts you at 11-6. Puts you at 11-6.
Stop.
I'm just saying worst case scenario because it happens once a year.
I'm mad at 11-6. I'm mad at 11-6.
That to me is worst case scenario is 11-6, and anything. Are
you guys happy with 11-6? Are you guys?
I mean, I've been saying for weeks. I feel like they're an 11-6, 11-6, 12-5 team. And Luke, you nailed exactly my thought process. I mean, if I have to give you my 5 to 6 losses. It is Green Bay. It is either Tampa or New Orleans. It is Cincinnati on the road. It's Baltimore on the road. And it's Dallas on the road. Yeah. I mean, those are 6 losses. Maybe if they pull one of them out, then they go 12-5, and then I'm a happy camper. But I have them, 12-5, 11-6.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. We'll go through it. Packers, Eagles, September 6th, Friday night, 8:15. Friday Night Lights. Who's everybody got?
I will say this. I don't have them dropping a game at the link. I will just put that out there.
I don't think I do either. I think I'm with you on that one.
Well, I got the Eagles versus Packers. I'm taking the Eagles. I don't think they lose against the Packers. I think we're just better. So I'm going to go win. All right. What do you guys got? Mike's got a loss. What do you got, Luke?
I got a loss.
I got a loss.
Right. Noah?
I got a win.
Okay.
I think they win the opener in Brazil.
All right. That'd be that game. Eagles, Falcons at home, September 16th.
Chalk it up.
Dub.
I'll be there too. That's a win. Nick Foles is coming back for that one, getting honored, and Kelsey will be back.
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. That's a
dub me up.
Yep.
Dub me up. Noah's got a dub. We know that.
I'm not even going with you.
Yeah. I'm not even going with you. Eagles at Saints. 1 o'clock game. I'm going 3-0 right here. So anyone wants to jump on. Here we are.
Superdome's a tough place to play. Believe it or not, I have an L here.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the L here.
Me as well.
All right. Eagles at Bucks. 1 o'clock.
See, I'm coming back with a dub here. This is a revenge game.
Yeah. I think they're going to lose one of these two games, but I'll go with a win.
Tommy's 4-0 at this point.
No way.
Are you, Tom? Are you 4-0?
I'm at 3-1.
Yeah, screw it. I mean, revenge game like we're talking about. I was going to give him a loss there, but I can't. So win 4-0. Let's keep rattling them off, baby. Find the loss for me, Tommy. Browns at Eagles. It's a 1 o'clock game.
Dub.
Win.
It's a win. If it was in Cleveland, I'd say it's iffy, but at home, they should get it done.
3-2.
Yep,
5-0. 4-1. Attaboy, Tommy.
I'm just going to laugh through the rest of this segment because Tom's going to be at 16-0.
I won't. I got some coming. They're coming. Because I know what's going to happen here too. So I got to win there. 5-0. Everybody's got their picks. Eagles at the Giants.
Dub.
Win.
Dub.
Big win. Big.
Dub. Eagles at Bengals.
Revenge game too.
425. I will take the Bengals in that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Calm myself down here.
I'll take the birds here. I think they pull the small upset on the road.
Noah going with the agree to disagree. There you go.
There you go, babe. Jags at the Eagles. It's an 8:20 game, November 3rd. It's probably
Sunday night, home, dub.
5-3.
Oh, Dougie comes back in. I go back-to-back losses. Dub. Dub. Calm that down. Let's settle that noise. Noah, what'd you do on that one? Did you pick?
Yeah, I got them beating the Jags at home.
So what am I? 7-1?
Same here.
Yeah.
Luke and I are 5-3.
Yep.
7-1. Keep track. After 8. Eagles at Cowboys.
Short week. Giving them the L.
Yeah, that's a loss for me too.
I mean, we got to win there at some point. It's been so long, but I'm going to go with a loss.
7-2. Noah's got to win. There's no question about it.
Of course I do. We got to sweep them one of these years. Jesus Christ.
We don't have to this year. We'll see when we get to the end of it. Commanders at Eagles.
Dub.
Thursday. That's
Win.
a Thursday night game too. Oh my God.
Thursday night, is that at home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
8-2 over here.
I hate to do it. I think the Commanders get us here. It's a short week, and if you're coming off an emotional win over the Cowboys, for shits and giggles, I'll just say they drop one to the Commanders.
Nope. Rookie quarterback. I think they terrorize him. That's a dub.
I think this is a very low-key team, though, that's getting – they signed a lot of veteran players to surround the rookie quarterback. They have capable weapons. I mean, McLaurin's always been seen as a guy who's just on an island without a quarterback, so now I guess we'll see. And Dan Quinn has coached high-level football before. So I think that this is a team that I'm not saying I think it's going to happen, but would totally shock me if we win the division that they actually come in second. That wouldn't totally shock me.
I was Luke, you got to get out of my head, man, because I was just going to say the same thing. Like, I do everything that you just said. I'm in complete agreement with. I feel like this is a really, really improved Commanders team. Would not shock me at all if they got into play in the division. I don't see us dropping a game to them, but wouldn't surprise me at all if they finished second, third in the division.
Yeah.
All right, then we go November 24th, 8:20 game against the Rams. I'm gonna go dub there.
I'll go win. We always play well in LA. Always.
Yeah, I'll give them a win. I'm on the fence on that one, but I'll give them the dub.
No,
I think they blow out the Rams.
Eagles at Ravens.
Loss.
That's a loss.
7-5.
That's a loss for me.
I think that's an L, but gonna be a close game. Maybe Tucker gets us at the gun with a 54-yarder or something.
Probably from 70. Yeah, Tucker from 70. Good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody go on that one.
Yep.
Panthers at Eagles. Dub.
Yeah.
Win. Next.
Steelers, Eagles. Dub.
Yeah.
Dub.
Eagles at Commanders. Dub.
Dub.
I got a win there.
I'm gonna go with a loss.
Believe it or
I'm gonna go with a loss. I think I'm at 9-6 right now.
Cowboys at Eagles. Dub.
Yeah.
Dub.
blowout. Big win. Happy New Year, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. I'll go with the win, yeah.
Giants at
Happy
Eagles.
New Year, Mike McCarthy. Take your 34-point loss and your fat ass back on the plane.
Wow, Noah's spewing the venom tonight.
So right now, I'm 13-3. All right. Going in to the last game versus the Giants.
Oh, they probably won't play anyone if they're 13-3.
Yeah, which I find nobody playing in. And it becomes because you got the bye, you got everything locked up, you're the 1 seed, whatever, right? Say that's what it all comes down to, right? Or everything's situated, right? Or you're the 2, right? Makes like everything's done, they don't play nobody, and that's a loss. And 13-4, and I still think 13-4 gets you the number 1 seed in the NFC. So giddy up.
Oh, I mean, I think
found some losses. You know what I mean? Found some losses to make it not like we're cool. We're all Kool-Aid over here. You know what I mean?
I think 13 wins absolutely get you a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think there could be some tiebreaker action there. I mean, I could very easily see San Francisco also managing to pull out 13.
They're in a tougher division, though. Those
They
three
are.
teams, I mean, all 3 of those teams presumably got better.
They did.
Yeah. I think the 49ers are a real good football team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think we got a little bit better too.
Yeah.
Well, do we think their quarterback can have the same repeat performance that he did last year?
Well,
I'm not saying he's all of a sudden.
It's going to have the repeat performance versus us like they did in the past. That's the difference. Like I don't think like with our secondary now and the emphasis on linebackers and the emphasis on a secondary, right? I don't see us getting carved up in the passing game like we have over the last X amount of years at times, right? I don't see us letting quarterbacks get comfortable and start out 15 for 15 because we want to go soft shell. Right, we don't go with a soft tackle shell. I love a soft tackle shell. I love the soft tackle shell. But there's the time you got to go a little hard. The time you gotta treat yourself. All right, you gotta get a little crunch. All right, it's what a crunch is called. Tackle. All right, it's called tackle. You got allowed to have a crunch. So that's where I think that changes. I think and I don't got a crystal ball with all this, but we talk about accountability here a lot. And I think with a guy like Vic, there's no question that there's accountability that comes with that, and there's a track record. And when you have a guy that comes in with that type of track record, guys listen. Guys buy in. So I think the defense is going to be really underrated going into the year. I don't think that people are going to talk about them until we're 6-0 and we're dominating people's faces. That's what I can't wait for on the defensive side of the football. I know what this offense is going to be. And if it isn't, it's going to get ugly up in here. And if you feel the same way, hit the damn like, hit the subscribe, turn your notifications on, because it's an important year, the most important year. That's why it's almost like hard. Like you could say you'd be disappointed in this. Like if Jalen Hurts doesn't have a comeback season, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I think I think the word that you use there, Tom, accountability. I think it's really smart the way that they've hired these coordinators, because they didn't just get two young guys. They didn't just get two experienced guys. They went out and they got a guy on the defensive side who's got the experience, who's the grizzled veteran, who's gonna hold those guys accountable. But then on the offensive side, they went out and they got the young, creative, is willing to go with motion, pull some things out in terms of blocking schemes and play action and stuff like that this team hasn't used in a while. And so, I think I'll give Sirianni a little bit of credit here in the sense that if some of the power is being taken away from him and given to the coordinators, he made the right moves.
No, you're right. Like sometimes, like I don't really love like, hey, your job's just like, you oversee.
I hate it.
Like I don't love it. I don't love it. I want my guy to have power to be in a room and say, no, this isn't working. I need all those things to still be there. Brink said if the offense thinks we don't have a QB, well, that's factual too. Like you can't fire everybody. You can't be like, it's not him. I'm telling you, it's not him. We brought in Kellen Moore. It's not Jalen's fault. It's Kellen Moore's fault that he's turning the football over. Right? That's what it's consistently. I don't like that. We're not here to make excuses for any player in this city ever. We don't want to make excuses for guys who have a bigger track record to him, right? Guys who have won MVPs in like Joel Embiid. No, we're tired of it, right? We get tired of stuff. We hold guys to a standard, even if they're your kid.
Yeah, I'm not making excuses for a guy cashing a $250 million check. So, yeah, he needs to have a big year. He needs to at least, bare minimum, be a top 10 quarterback in the league. If you say top 5, I'd agree with you there, and I wouldn't disagree. He just can't turn the damn ball over at the rate that he did last year. That was completely unacceptable.
No quarterback can, and you hope that it's the young quarterback goes to his Super Bowl early in his career. That was quick, right? If you want me to play like devil's advocate to it, right? That was quick. Okay, It's hard. It's a quick turnaround here. Like, football's all year long. It's a quick turnaround, and you go on your little book tour and you're kissing babies and all the fun stuff, right? And you get big agent and big money comes in, and it changes just your life. Doesn't necessarily change you, but it can change your focus and concentration. This isn't backyard football. This isn't just show up and play, right? There's things that go into this, and we talk about it in every sport. I talk with the players all the time. Like, if you ain't the traffic cone sitting over there and you can play, where do you think it comes down to? And at that level, when every cat can play, though, every cat that's in the league can play. So what separates them? Of course, there's some that are more talented than others. Of course, I get that. But if you're there, you can play. So what's the separation? The mind. So knowing that, I say to the kids all the time, like when I played, you weren't allowed to talk about that, babe. You know what I mean? You guys are lucky. You guys are lucky. You don't know how good you have it. They got a sports psychiatrist in every dugout now, right? You don't know how good you have it. That being said, with Jalen, you can see how them things could lose that focus and that concentration to your craft. Doesn't mean you're not working out. Doesn't mean you're not trying to get better like everybody does. And you don't have the same workout. It means you're focused to the details. What creates turnovers? Attention to detail. Right? Attention to all details. And so I don't know. I mean, that was That's my other side of it, where you could have that down year. Is that giving him a pass, or could that be like, hey Tom, you just spit some facts here tonight on the other side of it? So that being said, ain't no book tour last year, baby. Hi. You could say Tom's back. I'm back again. We're here.
That's a great comment there by KZ, though. Philly has a habit of blaming the quarterback. If they can't blame the quarterback, they'll blame the coach. That's factual right there.
Yeah, I don't know in the specific situations of quarterbacks that we've had over the last 5 to 7 years if we can say that's the case.
Oh, I think Carson got shafted in this town.
When? Was part?
The year that they drafted Jalen, and he just started pressing, and then that was it. He flamed out.
Yeah,
the fan base in this city just shafted him.
I think it was I think Wentz was the season after he got hurt and he tried to come back and the same thing happened, and then Foles felt like we were almost doing the same thing again. Yeah. I think that's when he lost it. And I think there's a reason that Jalen was brought in here in the first place, is because Howie saw that he lost it. He saw the same exact thing happen 2 years in a row, and he just couldn't get back on track. I don't know if that was undeserved. Yeah.
Like listen, when you look back on it, it's like, okay, I get it. Right. But at the time, as the fan base, right, I'll speak for the fan base. When that move was made, the reaction was, wait, what? We just paid him.
Like, right. They just signed him to a long-term deal.
Yeah. So it didn't make sense. So I don't think it's the fan base we necessarily shafted them. I would say after the Super Bowl, though, Mike, to your point, because we witnessed it here, that after the Super Bowl, I believe that there was a fan base that was ride or die with Nick Foles, and Carson's not the guy. I would say that part of it, but the Eagles did the picking in this specific situation. But usually, KZ's fact. I mean, that's spot on, KZ. I mean, I'm not wrong. I watched that for a decade. I watched that for a decade, that we blame the quarterback for everything. But in last year, we were right. And last year,
and we're right. Yeah, I mean, your take on that is not wrong. I feel like the last year that he was here, he had an offensive line that had more holes than Swiss cheese. He was getting hit nonstop. He started seeing ghosts. He was putting the ball on the ground. I mean, it got bad in a hurry, and I don't think it was nearly as much his fault as a lot of this fan base would make it out to be. I mean, I've died on the Wentz hill twice already. I'm not going to do it a third time, but what I have said, and I will say again, is, Jalen Hurts got paid. He got the long-term extension. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl in 3-4 years, this city will turn on him just as fast as they did Carson.
Shit. I'm here. I didn't even turn on Carson. I'm here to turn on Jalen in a minute if I need to, because I'll do that when guys are overloved, when guys are blindly loved, right? That's when I'll do that. Like with Donovan, I was on 5 side. With Carson, I rode with him, right? I was right in the sidecar, right? With Jalen, I want him to be great. I want it all, but too many people are blind to the stuff that was his fault last year. And that's where it's like, okay, well, now I'm here to say, if he does have a down year, y'all better keep the same energy you kept for other guys. That's all. You keep the same energy. If we're going to do it one way, then let's do it. Let's be consistent in our habits as fans. Then, good, bad, or indifferent. Let's just be consistent with everybody. Then, but people have their guys, and I get that too. I do. I get that too. Marcia said the city turning on him already. Matthew says Wentz' problem was he tried too hard because he wanted to listen. When after that happens to you, you're going to press that. You're going to press that really hard because you're trying every play you step back. You're trying to win a Super Bowl. So when you step back and every play you're trying to make is to win a Super Bowl, you're going to play a lot of hero shit. And somebody said like Greg Ward was his best receiver at one point. Yeah, it got bad here.
Travis Fulgham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folkamania.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy stunk. Like I said.
He's not in the league anymore. I
No,
don't think.
that's what happens when you stink.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he was
a
a
lot of
one-hit
people,
wonder.
like a lot of people forget that the last year that he was, the starter for the full season, the year that he took the Jadeveon Clowney hit in the playoffs and got the concussion, he threw for 4,000 yards that year and didn't have a wide receiver with over 500 yards. And I think he had 36 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Mhm.
I mean, it was a damn good season until he got that hit in the playoffs. He came back the next year and he was just not the same.
Because the team wasn't the same. The team
Right.
just sucked. So
They were horrible.
if they wanted to win anything, he was gonna have to do more.
It's almost like it's almost like how he wanted them out. You know what I mean? Like in a weird way. There must have been something. There was something that happened there. There just had to be something. I don't know what it exactly is, right?
Well, the difference between him and Ben Simmons, and it's a huge difference, is Ben Simmons was mad at himself. Where so Carson was just given a really unfortunate back-to-back years, and then he gets hurt, and the guy behind him takes him to do what ultimately he wanted to do. And the next season, he's the guy, and it's not playing out well, and the same guy comes in and goes on a run. And then when he's finally back, the team stinks. So, like, he kind of got dealt a really poor hand, whereas Simmons had that whole mental breakdown because he just couldn't get out of his own head.
Yeah.
Well,
And I mean,
I'll
I
take
think
that
I think
there.
the overarching difference is Ben Simmons quit on his team, and in
Yeah.
Carson's case, the team quit on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Noah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I mean, yeah, he might have gotten dealt a few bad cards, but technically speaking, Carson got a ring out of it. And don't forget, he walked away with $100 million.
Yeah.
And don't forget that he's the reason we got a ring.
No doubt.
He's one of the reasons. So
Yeah,
like,
no doubt. 11 and 2 is 11 and 2. Yep.
11 and 2 makes it a lot easier
That
to
was
get there.
that was a yeah.
I mean, that was a coaching staff win too. Like that was everything. That was guys rallying around the backup goalie who can play. Right? That's what it was. They rallied around.
Yep.
Because they were playing that good that the locker room's intact. Right? So then if you do have a backup who can play, like Nick, and you start believing, like, okay, why can't we still win? Nick can do the things Carson can do. You know what I mean? Nick's a legitimate quarterback in this league. Nick's a starter for most teams, right? And he got a big arm, and so why do guys believe? Guys start believing. And they won games, and guys still believe, like, why can't we win? And when you start getting that with all your captains, down with injuries like that team does, and you are a cursed franchise, that's what happens. 3-0 Red Sox. It's the same situation. Cubby. They end when you're like, this is done. And then it's not. Because players,
Tommy, we talked about it 4 days after it happened. I mean, you talk about a guy leaving it all on the field. I mean, he basically got his knee jacked up, diving into the end zone for a touchdown. It gets called back for a penalty. He stays in the game. He throws a touchdown pass to Alshon to get them back in that game. And then, that's his last play of the season that they win the Super Bowl is him throwing a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Foles then at that point just takes it home.
Yeah, and Combo, you're right. Like he got us there, but Nick was out of his mind in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's how you slay a goat.
Foles he's a folk hero.
He is what he did. He
yeah.
talked about it. Never have to buy a drink in this city. He can leave his daughter in the middle of Broad, like we talked about.
Absolutely.
Like she's still good.
He's a movie script come to life.
Oh, yeah. Invincible Part 2. It's a different way. It's a different way. A guy who was here, he came back here. He's talking about a coaching staff that changed their entire game plan to fit him. They're running RPO. They're running RPOs to get the ball out of the hand quick. Like they were doing so many things. But don't forget how loaded this team still was. They were loaded. Even with the injuries, they were still loaded.
Mm-hmm.
And they had great coordinators. They had 3 head coaches on this team. Pretty much the same thing going on here now. Well, one might not be a head coach in that. But, they had 3 head coaches. So, Howie went back to the well here in a big way. I always said getting rid of Jim Schwartz was a mistake. And look at the Cleveland Browns defense. Everybody hates Jim Schwartz here. I think we do more of that, Mike, than anything. Like when a guy actually is good, we want more. Jonathan Gannon sucked. Okay, sucked. I don't care what anybody says. All right, I don't care. He sucked. Right? Jim Schwartz got a sack. Right? He's willing to flip her around at nighttime. He ain't willing just to stay on top of it the same way tonight, honey. Right? We're just going to do the same way all year long. No, have a little fun. Right? Enjoy life. Right? Jim does. Jim's willing to dial it up. Maybe too much at times with certain things. Right? But at the end of the day, like none of them are perfect. But we, at least we went back to that well. At least we learned from our mistakes and said, you know what? Let's go back to what worked for us. And that was surrounding Doug with great coordinators. Because when Doug lost his coordinators, it's hard, man. Because if those guys aren't good enough at their job, you're going to struggle.
Which is why I have such a problem with Nick in the first place, going back to that. Because if this team is good, and say that they get to an NFC title game, likely you'll then see Kellen Moore get a ton of head coaching opportunities. Once that happens, that 2-year window is into a 1-year window because he's gone, and you're talking the same clean slate all over again with a new offensive coordinator. And it's just, if you look at teams like San Francisco and Baltimore, they change coordinators all the time, and they're always still there.
No, you're right. You're right. But, I mean, Kyle is a perennial loser, but he'll win a lot of regular season games for sure. Still a loser.
I'm cracking up at these comments tonight, by the way.
It's great. Then Nick is a foster dad, and the side got called to HR twice. Dad. He was beyond bad. Mike Crow. Yeah, Mike Crow. You didn't tell me Mike Crow wasn't good. That might. I don't think Mike Crow's going to do it for us. I mean, imagine Doug, too. I mean, Doug got fired because he wanted Mike Crow. And Doug got fired for, like, pounding the table for jabrones. Like, right? So, it's happened. There you go. We're going to go get a yes, man. And they did. They did. Like, the guy even, like, when I watch him in pressers, and I have no problem with Nick. I've met Nick a bunch of times. I like Nick. But he would keep it real. Like, in his pressers, he almost looks like, hey, I have no idea what's going on around here. Yeah, in a way. Like, he does. He does not act like that. But you know what I mean? It's almost like, this guy's just overseeing. Like, I feel like every time he talks, I'm like, what did you oversee today, Nick? Who'd you check in on today, buddy? Like, what was your job? What do they want you to do today?
Yeah, which position meetings did you pop into?
Just say hello, guys. I can see him coming in.
What Dunkin' Donuts did he drive through?
Could you imagine? I feel like I can see him coming in. I can visualize it. Like, hey, guys, just popping in. You guys need anything? All right, you guys are good. You guys continue. Please continue.
Now he's like that principal that used to just walk around the school and like pop in and stand in the back of the classroom for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yep. He's just going from position room to position room, standing in the back of the room for like 3 minutes and then boop, gotta go, move it on.
I'll build him a goddamn statue. He goes and wins the whole damn thing. Through all that, I will statue him. We statued for less. You know what I mean? We essentially statued for less. So I'll statue everything.
We statued Nick Foles for 2 great games.
Oh, it'll be like a bonfire. I'll just circle the statues out there. That's what we should do. It should be a bonfire statue. Just circle everybody around each other. And then you stick a fake fire in the middle. So that's how many we're going to win. We're having up for a big circle here. Let's go. Let's go win 2 out of 4. Let's go win 2 out of 4 in some way. Why not us? Like every other franchise has their little ride. Yeah, we've been in it for 20 years like we talked about. We have. We've been around it. We've been in the conversation. But can we get a run? We thought we were getting it after 2017, right? We thought we were all right, right? And then we go to one and we're like, ooh, this is right? We think we're doing it again. And we get collapsed. But can we go on that? Can we go on a 4-year stretch where we're the talk of the town? Right? We're always talking this town, but the talk of the nation. I want to be the talk of the nation. That's what I want from the Philadelphia Eagles. Because I want to win 2 out of 4. Shit. 1 out of 3 out of 4. Like
you want them to be feared.
Yeah, like no, I want to be feared, and I want a 30.
Yeah, 30. I want us to be the most feared franchise in the National Football League.
Shit, I want a 30 for 30 on the greatness of the dynasty. I want to talk about an Eagles dynasty 15 years from now with my son and be like, yeah, this was a run bet. Yeah, it was all right. Like I want that conversation.
When the city of Philadelphia thought he could not be a head coach, he took them to 3 consecutive Super Bowls, winning 2 out of the 3. The Nick Sirianni story, live on Lifetime.
Lifetime picks it up. Lifetime picks it up. Perfect for Nick. How about 3 out of 5? Can we win 3 out of 5? 3 out of 5 puts you in a conversation. Because you know what I want to put the end to? Oh, you got one, like the losers, right? We got guys on this station. It's okay. Brad's a perennial loser. He's a New York fan. All right. But that's how they all are up there. And that's fine. All right. Teach your own. You think we're losers? So are you guys. It's fine. We're the same people, but let's think each other are losers. We're the same damn fan base, essentially. But let's look down on the other ones. No, we're diehard fans like we should be. That being said, like, I want to end that conversation. We wanted to end getting one and that one, but I want to be that team. Like, I mean, the Patriots won I feel like for 2 decades they were winning Super Bowls because of Brady. Can I get Jalen to play to 45? Like, can I get a run? Can I get a damn run from somebody in this city? I haven't had a dynasty in this city for the entirety of my run, and Mike's right with me. We haven't had a dynasty, and either of you can know it's right there too. I don't want to leave you out, Luke. You haven't had it either, right? We haven't had a dynasty. Can I get one of my 4 to be a dynasty? If it's not this, can somebody else hop in and say hello to me? Please, for goodness sake, throw me the Phillies.
All right. So now you're going to make me ask you the question, though. What are you considering a dynasty?
Something that's remembered forever.
By Philly people or nationally?
Everything.
So you don't consider the Phillies run from like 07 to 11 or 12 a dynasty because they only won 1 World Series?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's not.
That's fair.
It's great. It's a great run. It's great for the city. It's a great run. No questions will ever be debated on that. Right? No. But to Luke's point, like what I'm talking about is that extra now. Like I want the extra. No, it's so if the Phillies win 3 out of those years or win 2, it's more of an allure of how great they were. I want that for one of our teams. I want to look back 10 years from now and be like, remember how great that team was? Like that's what we got to get back to. That's what we're looking, whatever it may be. So I think, like I said, 3 out of 5 in the NFL, I think really stamps your legacy. I want that in some way. 2 out of 5, and you go to say 4. I don't know, right? You go to 3, right? You're in conference title games. In the other years, you're close. You're close, right? But I want that extra. That third one stamps you. Right? Cowboys still talking about the 90s, right? Because it stamps you. That's the point of it. We're still talking about Nate Newton back in the day. We're still talking about Irvin, and it wasn't my pipe. We're still talking about all these guys that were such great players because they were, and we feared them. I want to be hated. We already are hated. I want the extra layer of hate. I want the nation to be spies on how good we are, because that's what will happen. Everybody will hate how good we are, and I want it. I want when's it going to end? I want it never to end. I want like 8 years straight of just like, wow, Eagles clear favorite.
Well, New England had a 20-year run, so what the hell?
I can't be afraid. Like Kansas City's on that same run right now. It's epic. It's epic.
Yeah.
Now the barbecue's great and the football's great. What else can you ask for? Can we get something? Can we just get like I went up to Boston. All was in my mind was Brady and the Patriots. Like they literally they took my coat. They undressed me in New England. I felt like that's all I was thinking about. Like where's Foxborough at? That's my buddy. Where's Foxborough located? It's curious. Yeah, like Brady's got me thinking. You know, so like I want that. I want to drive by the skyline and think, oh, they gotta go. I want people to get off a flight and be like, Eagles are loaded. You know what I mean? Like I want people from out of town to be like, when you land, you think Eagles. They already do to a point, but I want the extra. You know what I mean? I'm going far here. We're going deep. Right? We got a psychiatrist anywhere around. Sports one because I could use one. Can I get a damn dynasty?
We want to get to
the Phillies aren't off the hook either, Mike. No, Luke, the Phillies aren't off the hook either, guys, because they need to be one. So I don't know where their first one's going to come, but guys are getting older, so you better figure it out soon.
I just want to be able to send in one more video of the tattoo getting touched up with another city, another date, and another Super Bowl number on it.
That'd be great too. We can keep adding them.
That's the plan, or that was the plan when I got it. It was, well, let's just keep adding them, and I haven't done shit.
Either way, KZ, knock it off. All right, knock it off. The one time I tell you it was time to trade to OMB, now you don't let me live it down. I'm the guy who stood up for the guy forever. All right, I'm literally keeping his knees together. All right, because I'm holding him up. All right, and you're gonna sit here and you're gonna hold that against me because at the end of it, another bad second round. Was it even second round? Was it first round?
Yeah, it's first round. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's confirm that. Right, after our first round exit, then I'm annoyed. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we got David D checking in saying, "Go Jets." Well, I guess he's holding on to his Super Bowl III trophy, huh?
Well, I mean, if he has a healthy quarterback,
Lord,
they're going to be a problem.
56 years ago.
No, if Joe Namath / Aaron Rodgers is healthy,
Yeah.
I think they can be. Pretty good. I think.
So let's talk some
Phillies. Shot of winning the
Manny Machado. What'd you say? No, what'd you say? Did you say Manny Machado?
No, no. What I was saying is, do you think the Jets actually have a prayer of winning the AFC East?
No.
A prayer to win the AFC East? No. Why not?
No.
How do you guys say no? I don't know how you guys are saying no that easy.
Buffalo and the Dolphins. That's my no.
Yeah, Buffalo's not as good. Josh Allen's a pimp, but they're not going to be as good.
Too much chatter off the field. I mean, definitely a chance, but I'm far from predicting it. They're easily number 3 in those 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say so too.
There's just too much mess. They remind me of the Sixers all the time. They're the team everyone talks about when nothing matters, and then when it matters, it's like, where are they?
Although you know what's really telling about that though is that Joe Douglas was an absolute rock star in Philadelphia. And there were a lot of people that wanted Howie to go to the ivory tower and let Joe Douglas be the one to more or less take over. And they basically said, no, Howie's our guy. And Joe Douglas got shipped off to New York, and that team is an absolute disaster. And I don't think it's Joe Douglas's fault. I think it's ownership. Like how much longer does Joe Douglas stay there and just stand for that garbage?
I agree with that completely.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they just have a chance to be good if Rodgers is good. It's simple. Just like Joe Douglas, if he got the right quarterback, they'd be in the right situation. It's all about nailing your quarterback as a GM. You don't nail it. You don't nail the pick. You're in this situation.
Yeah, but do we really think that Joe Douglas wanted Aaron Rodgers? I think that's an ownership acquisition.
Well, I think
they're looking for the marquee name.
I think
they wanted Aaron Rodgers. I think he definitely did want Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he wanted the head coach they hired. I think at a certain point, like you saw with Brady in Tampa, and you saw how Russ worked out in Denver and him in New York, as sad as it is, those guys build a reputation and an ego. If you trade for a guy like that at the end of their career, you have to do what Tampa did with Tom, which is just, hey, this is your team. The coach you want is your coach, because we're not here for a 3-year window. We have 1 year to win. That's
right.
Essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Let's get in the Phils.
Yeah. How big was that win tonight?
Huge.
It was big. And they did the little things at the plate tonight too, like where they weren't hitting great, but they did enough, right? They moved runners over, right? They got runners in with less than 2 outs. Like, that's how you win baseball games when you're not hitting. So I thought it was a really good win, and I thought the bullpen obviously came in and they were awesome.
Yeah, I mean, You go double sacrifice fly to tie the game when your offense has been, anemic. I mean, like you said, little things. I just feel like with this fan base, if the Braves take the first 2 games of the series and they cut that lead in the division to 5 games, oh my God, you'd think the sky is falling. It's just so crazy how much better 7 games looks than 5 games.
Oh,
when when you're playing the team, it's literally a 1-game swing.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. We have not taken a series from the Braves this year. Is that
That's
correct?
That's right.
I mean, so it's time to take a series from them and time to win a game tomorrow.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely.
If we want that bye and we want to be serious and get right at the right time, get healthy, get everybody on the same page, and get steamrolling into October, we need to beat Atlanta. Bottom line.
I call this a hot take. I don't really want the bye. I mean, obviously, if they get it, I'm not going to complain. But I kind of like life better as the two seed personally. I mean, isn't it a thing that since this third wild card has been implemented that the 1 seed hasn't made it through? And I think a lot of it, we saw it firsthand, that All-Star break did not do them any favors. I kind of want them playing hot through the season, but in a perfect world, I kind of want them in a similar spot last year where you play like kind of a below average playoff team like Miami in a wild card round, and then you get into the swing of things come October. Like, that's what I want, ideally.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
fair
agree
point. I'd rather be rested.
Yeah, I agree to disagree on that one, just because I prefer. We haven't won that way, right?
Yeah.
We didn't win that way. So maybe this way will help us. I get exactly what you're saying, though. Like, I understand the points about rest, but when you play 162, if your timing's not down, then there's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Over 5 days or 6 days, wherever it may be.
Yeah, I mean, last week we talked about them, making sure that they peak at the right time. But, there's 2 schools of thought on that. There's, the school of thought that it's a veteran ball club. As long as they peak at the right time in September, they could use that rest. Other school of thought, if they peak, you want to just ride it right through. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I see both sides of the coin. But Tommy, you're right. We haven't won playing the wild card round. So, I mean, who knows? Let's see what happens if we get a bye.
Yeah, let's get that bye. Let's get that rest. You can line up your pitching then, and I think that's critical.
Jamar says the Phillies choking big games like every other team in the city. Well, maybe they won't this year, Jamar. You know what I mean? Maybe this will be the year they don't. Ethan says Astros won a World Series 2 years ago. Pretty easy. Yeah. I think there's benefits of getting your pitchers off the mound in big games this year as before, but I also think there's benefits to the playing too. So I mean, I get both sides of that. I just think for us, why not get a breather? Why not see if the breathers go for it?
And why not have that? Let's have that home field advantage. Make them come to us. Yes, I know we shit the bed in games 6 and 7 last year against the D-backs in the NLCS, but let's flush that and let's finish the deal this time.
Well, and that's the thing is I think for me, if you're going to get the bye, I don't want to be the 2 seed. I want to be the 1 seed. I want to be able to play the lowest seed possible each round, throughout until the World Series, because the point that Ethan makes here about the wild card teams not being a pushover, I mean, it's spot on. It's crazy when you look at the standings. I mean, the Phillies have a 7-game lead in the National League East. You look at the NL West, and it's literally like a stack of teams there, and they could wind up getting 3 playoff teams from one division.
Not only that, all 3 of them may win 90 games or more.
Yeah,
and the Dodgers
for sure.
are probably looking at 95, maybe pushing 100 wins, where the D-backs and Padres, I mean, I think they're 90-plus win teams, to be honest with you, and they're really on fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, they really are. They really are.
I'll say 2 weeks ago, I had 2 takeaways that I wasn't able to go on last week. One was I kind of glazed Johan Rojas. He had a pretty good day today. And the other one, I almost texted Tom on a Saturday night 2 weeks ago, preseason game, to let him know that Devin White didn't really play that great, but I didn't. I know you work hard. I don't want to piss you off on a Saturday night, but I almost did. I thought about it. So I'm pretty perfect so far on those 2 things. It's just because they don't win that game today without Johan. That double is pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. He went down, he came back up, and he learned a couple things. With the Devin, I'm not. You're going preseason me. Yeah, I mean, we're not doing this in preseason. There's no substance to it.
I'm with you. I'm just saying it's there. It's there.
We'll see game 1.
Preseason kills me. These guys, Jordan Davis hasn't improved one bit. He's played 12 plays in the preseason. How do you know?
Well, Luke don't know either, because Luke's doing this to me right now. You know what I mean? Like he knows. Like he's got a crystal ball. Like now we just said like, oh, new coordinators, and we use that for our reasoning behind. Did you disagree with the poll? Because then you agreed.
No, I agreed.
You agreed. Never mind. I can't even do it to you. I tried.
Here's a question for you, fellas. Are you a little concerned about the lack of preseason play for Mr. Jalen Hurts? In fact, he hasn't taken a single snap at all.
Nope.
We're doing this.
Not even a little.
No.
It's what they do every year. So we're going to do it's what they do. So.
I hear you, but if Andy can put Patrick Mahomes out there, I wish they'd give Jalen at least a series or 2.
I actually agree too, completely.
Yeah.
Every team.
I think as soon as they started doing these joint practices, the need to play starters in the preseason went away.
Yeah.
I just think every single one of these teams that goes back with no slackage right in the beginning of the year, they all play in the preseason. Even the teams that just won back-to-back Super Bowls. Now, I'm not saying they're screwed because they're not doing it, but I definitely would rather them play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying play them the whole damn game, but know, give them a quarter,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can go both on that conversation. Like, I can go either way. Like,
if God forbid we start 1-3, I don't want to hear, oh well, we were rusty, and then what the hell?
Okay, and a blindside low hit to the legs,
right? And then our season's done. No, I know.
And that's Ricky Waters in a nutshell for who for what. So I mean, what?
Yep.
What are we like? There's 2 ways to look at it. I get the idea of timing and rhythm and continuity and all those things. Absolutely, new coordinator, got it.
Totally. I mean, do we forget though? Jalen Hurts taking a late hit out of bounds, and Nick Sirianni losing his mind on Robert Saleh in a preseason game.
We did go to the Super Bowl that year, though.
I mean that's the reason that Sirianni doesn't play guys in the preseason. He saw that, he was like, done.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I was happy about, that a few of the defensive starters got some snaps this preseason, and I think that'll pay dividends. So, and I think, to the best of my knowledge, everybody came out unscathed, and I think we look pretty relatively healthy heading into week 1 here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, let's not jinx that. That would feel good.
I'll pretend that. Knock on wood.
All right, boys. Well, listen, great show. It's fun to talk some Eagles. All right, they got the foster dad Sirianni running the show, as Martian said. So we'll see where they get to. But we'll obviously be talking about them next week as well as Phillies. And obviously we get closer to some Flyers, some Sixers, obviously Eagles, Phillies postseason. A lot of good things coming. A lot of good things on the horizon. Somebody said Rob Thompson needs to win a championship. I think Greg Miller said that. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more with you, Greg. Rob needs to win one. Bryce needs to win one. Guys need to win one. They have to. Dombrowski has to win one. He ain't here just for – he ain't say stupid money and not win one. You know, Johnny wants to win one. I know how bad this organization wants to win one. So, you know, that just can't trickle down to put the pressure on the players, right? Players got to play loose and free. Enough pressure. So as long as that doesn't trickle down, they know what they need to do. They need to go do it. But great show, guys. On the way out, if you haven't, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Stay with us as always. It's Mike Mataraki, Noe Eaton, Luke Brown. I'm Tom Arnone. We love you. We appreciate you. Fly Eagles Fly. Hum Phils. And we're brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Go check them out. Mention HUD Radio. Get 10% off your order. You will not be disappointed. See you next Wednesday. I'll see you Sunday, baby. Sure, I'll be talking Eagles some more, you know, but you don't get tired of it, all right? Because we haven't done it. We haven't done nothing. We don't even want to go sit here and talk preseason, even though no one wants everybody to play. But we're not going to do it. No, we're not
Go,
you
Phil.
play to win the game.
In preseason, we're out.